crack. Cheers, brother.
Howdy. It's good to be here.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Algae Swamp Gang podcast, where we'll be diving into the murky waters of our thoughts to see what dwells beneath the surface. Today, with me, a very special guest, Hunter Olin.
What's up?
On the drums, everybody.
Right now.
Not
speak.
right now, but Hunter and I, we go way back.
We do, in fact.
Hunter was among one of the first friends that I made when I moved to the town in which we met each other and went to school. Many, many years ago. I think I was not even 10 years old.
Yeah, I think I was 6. You were 8.
So I had to have been about 8 years old.
Yeah.
So we've known each other a long time.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah.
2 decades.
Holy shit, man.
I know I look young, but
That's a long time to
time.
know somebody, man.
It is.
We go way back. But yeah, man, I can't even tell you the type of shit me and this dude have done and been through together and seen together. I mean,
dude, there's literally so many stories. Can I bring up one quick?
You can bring up any story you want, as long as it's not too embarrassing.
The night that it was me, you, and Aaron at my house, we were drinking tequila, and this man ended up having a good amount of tequila. We were walking on a dirt road, and he had a Batman cape on. He loves Batman. And a golf club. He's never played golf. And we're out there, drunk as hell. And he's hitting rocks, just having a good old time. And then later that night, your brother came to pick you up to drive your car home because he didn't want your parents to know that you were drunk.
Yep.
And it's like 3 houses down. It wasn't that far. And yeah, he was waiting outside in a Batman cape to be driven 3 houses down.
Yep.
It was a good time, you know?
Plenty of good times.
We were not 8 years old at the time. We were
older than that. At least teenagers.
No, we were of age.
Man, I tell you, even we've done a lot of dumb shit together, man.
Like a ton.
Oh my god.
Literally, there's too many stories.
Listen, at this point in time, I'm a full adult. It's a legal substance, and I don't give a shit who sees this. So, you were there the first time I smoked weed.
I was.
Okay. I kid you not. I took 3 hits, I think.
Yeah,
of a blunt.
Of Blue Dream.
My
favorite to this day.
And I was high for over 8 hours.
Maybe more.
Maybe more than
Maybe
that.
more.
I forgot how to speak English. I forgot how to speak entirely. I forgot how to swim, so I couldn't go in the water because I forgot how to swim.
Stand.
People were like, is this guy okay? Is he doing all right? And everybody's like, nah, it's just his first time being high. Don't worry about it.
Just slumped against a tree.
He's cool. I'm just like, incognito.
Like, yo, John, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Dude,
then
I
ate a huge sandwich from Cumbies.
You did.
And we watched Donnie Darko.
That's so true.
And my life was forever changed from that moment.
Now you're about it.
Yeah, no, I actually didn't even smoke weed after that again for like quite a long time.
Yeah, you didn't smoke weed for a while.
I really didn't smoke weed in high school at all.
I was a pothead. I smoked all the time. But you
were. I weren't.
Yeah.
I wasn't. And I got accused of being so many, many times throughout the time that I never smoked pot.
You drank a good amount, but
I did drink a good amount. I was a kind of a hound back then. I cannot keep up with that pace now at this age.
no.
I don't drink like that anymore.
I look back sometimes and I'm like, what did I do to my body?
I don't know. It's something
I
about
can still drink a lot, but
being a teenager, man, and throwing your peak years away to just partying hard.
dude, like after prom, I did Edward Yeager hands.
I did not do that after prom.
I did. It was nuts. I don't know why.
I was hanging out in my prom date's parents' basement,
Yeah.
and I was trying to behave.
Yeah. Edward 40 hands, I always wanted to do. It's only 6 beers. Easy work. That's like an afternoon. So 2 375s of a Jaeger.
I saw
about a
you that
750.
night.
Yeah, you did.
I showed up with Eric.
Well behaved.
Oh, I shouldn't have said his last name. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Redacted.
Dude.
Eric redacted. I showed up with Eric.
It was pretty good. I almost fought a kid that night, but I was like, you can't. You have glass in your hands.
Oh, dude, actually, here's a fun story of pre-Sky Swamp days. Do you remember the time we played a talent show
Yep.
at the church?
Yeah. you
As the
sucked me into
Batmans?
that one.
You, me, Eric, and Casey.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I
Dude,
forgot about that.
We
Yeah.
played Nirvana.
Casey.
Smells like Teen Spirit to a bunch of Christians.
And it did not smell like that at all. But
No.
do you think that went well?
I think
I don't think it did.
it went well for
One day of
the teenagers and
Yeah,
the
one day
people
of
that were
practicing.
our age. I think it went well for one day of practicing. I don't think it went well over for the adults that were in the room and then heard us covering Smells Like Teen Spirit
I don't care
by
about
Nirvana in a church setting, which I also don't care about
that. I mean,
looking back. And I honestly, even if I was I
That's-
can't say that. I'm not. I don't.
that's pretty mild. Like it's Nirvana.
pretty
It's
mild. It's Nirvana. Everybody knows Nirvana, but I guess the lyrics are a bit suggestive to some.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What should we have done?
I
Some Creed?
yo.
Can you take me higher?
Something like some Flyleaf,
To
dude.
a place where I'm blind.
Just play some Flyleaf.
Nah, dude, we can't do that.
I can feel you all around me.
Can you now?
You know that one,
Yeah, of course I
bro?
do. But
I actually
I was never. You loved them back in the
I
day.
loved
I
Flyleaf.
always hated.
You know what?
I've always
though?
been kind of a hater to a lot of things.
There's nothing wrong with that because a
No,
lot
I
of
just know it's good. Flyleaf, it ain't. Leaves don't fly. It's a shitty name.
I could some band names
It
are not
just-
good.
I mean,
You ever seen that segment on TikTok? Good band name, bad band name. You don't have TikTok, I bet.
no, I don't.
I didn't think so. Never mind.
It's not political. I just don't. I don't want to waste my time.
Anyway,
I have reels though.
I bet you do.
TikTok like.
You ever see Tom McGovern on Reels?
No, I don't know who that is.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I'll sing it. He has this one like thing he does. He's got this band called Wolves of Glendale
Mhm.
that he's in, which they're cool dudes. It's decent stuff. But he like makes like little songs and stuff like that are stupid and funny. Like one time he made this song, "Springtime, do you know what that means? Everything smells like cum trees."
Oh, you just sent this in the chat, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So, do you want to hop into our first topic here?
I would love to, Johnny.
So, kick us off here, Hunter. What do you want to talk about today?
I would love to talk about a couple bands that influenced both of us,
Okay.
either individually or like together as like a whole, because we have very similar tastes for
We
a lot
do.
of things. Like, but it also like goes like far, like beyond Driven.
Absolutely.
That's a Pantera reference. That's so that's why I said it.
Well, let's
It
start.
was pretty shitty.
Let's start at the grassroots here. Let's start at the bottom.
No lettuce.
That's gonna. Okay.
Sorry. I'll be serious now.
All right. Let's start at the metal as it gets here. Bloody roots here. Let's start at the beginnings. What got you into, like, what influenced you to start?
So when I was young, I'll give like 3 bands from when I was like little that like were big influences. AC/DC, massive. I was young, like 5 years old, listening to AC/DC. Pretty cool. After that, I would say once I got to sorry. AC/DC. After that, once I got to like 9-ish, I think it was, maybe like 7 or 8, Linkin Park.
Mm-hmm.
Massive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then going forward from that, I would say another big one, obviously Slipknot.
Oh yeah, no, and I think that's a big one for you, definitely. As long as I've known you, Joey Jordison has always been a huge...
drumming wise, I've never been able to replicate it, but that's always been like top tier, like goal of what you can do.
Oh, I've gotten to see you become a amazing drummer over the years too. So
I was not good for a little bit, and you guys still have me in the band, which is cool.
Go back to episode.
But honestly, we all sucked. Like none of us we're still not good. Like all of us suck individually. We just somehow make like things sound good together. It doesn't make any sense, but it sounds okay.
World's okayest musicians.
Yeah, like when it comes down to it, like we're all not very good at all. Like if you took 4 other dumbasses that were actually good at music, they would have done a lot. But we're just, we're here. All right, so how about you? I'd say 3 bands that you have from like maybe like 5 to 6, 7 to 9, and then like 10 to 12. Like,
so I would say for me, first and foremost, Motley Crue. Probably
I was going to bring them up
the
too.
biggest impression at a young age in terms of
lifestyle.
What is this? I like this. The energy, the sound. It just was very captivating to me. I loved it. I still do. Love Motley Crue.
Oh yeah, me too.
Second, I would say would probably be the Beatles.
Yep.
Huge impact on me. Paul McCartney to me is just the peak of a producer, bass player, a songwriter. I mean, something about the Beatles, their whole catalog, it's so diverse.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much storytelling throughout the songs as well as nonsense, but it's so goddamn catchy.
It is.
And there's really something about, even when they hated each other, they could still write a hell of a song.
True. I've never been a big fan, but that's just my personal taste. But I respect the fuck out of them. They are like, they're one of the goats. Like, it's like, it's just, you can't deny it.
I would say after that, it's hard to say what the band was that kind of influenced me mostly after that point. I would say early Falling in Reverse was a huge influence and staple for me. And I say early very heavily. Like, I would even border first Escape the Fate album tied with Drug and Me, Falling in Reverse as kind of together in that.
So no, like Rolling Stones?
I wouldn't say that. I like Rolling Stones.
I just know you have the tattoo of...
Okay, it was a bad decision at 18. That did not come out as well as I had imagined it would. Things happen.
It's a
we
falling
make
reverse tattoo. It
decisions.
just looks like
It is.
Rolling Stones.
But yeah, I would say falling reverse would be the third one.
I feel like all three of those sum us up like pretty good.
It really does. I mean, obviously, there's other huge
I could have
influences
picked
for
something
me.
besides Linkin Park, but that was that like at that age, it was one of the bands that kind of like brought me to something else.
I would say overall as a band too, like for Sky Swamp Orange, like Linkin Park is probably like a
Yeah.
huge staple for the band overall in terms of an
Mm-hmm.
influence. And I'm not, listen, don't take that and run with it and be like, you guys sound like this. We're not trying to sound like
Yeah.
anybody, okay? We just all like that band
Mm-hmm.
and we know the significant cultural impact that they had.
And being like young too and hearing that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because
I
my brother's
mean,
older, and my cousin Nick too. Were like 5-6 years older than me, so like they were like 10, 12 when I was 5 and 6 and shit, and like it was cool like hearing them like listen to stuff.
branching off of Motley Crue as well, one band that really blew me away at an impressionable age as well was 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And that their debut album, the one that coincided with the Heroin Diaries, it was literally the soundtrack to the book,
Mm-hmm.
basically, which is just supposedly a diary that Nikki Sixx kept over the course of a year when he was severely addicted to heroin.
Is there like
So,
controversy about that? Is that not?
some people say some of it is like made up, and
I don't believe it.
I don't know.
There is like written stuff in it. Like they all commentate. Like
yeah, no, there's commentating on it.
that book is brilliant.
I've read it many times.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Very profound and eye-opening book. But the soundtrack album that went with it by 6 a.m. had a lasting, to me, is still one of my favorite albums. I mean, I think it's front to back, to me, is flawless.
I never dove deep into 6 a.m.
Dude,
Motley Crue, I know fucking everything.
6 a.m. is a
awesome.
very it's a very good band. It's not like at all like Motley Crue. Mm-hmm. They're very much more like rock.
Yeah.
Not to hate on that genre. I feel like a lot nowadays people say rock and they're like, "Oh, rock," and they think of like, no offense to them, but they think of like fucking Nickelback, you know?
Yeah.
And listen, we can all talk shit, but there's at least one or two Nickelback songs that fuck. We can all agree that Nickelback
is about 7 or 8 in the same 4 chords, which is most songs, but
whatever, dude.
It works. If it works, it works.
They're talented. They've cut their cloth, and they're massively successful at what they've done at this point. Can't really argue with that. But yeah, no, they're like 6 a.m. is great. They've definitely had a pretty big lasting impact on me as well. Other bands outside of those, I mean, I would say to me as well, a big like influence to me would be like 9 Inch Nails. I think 9 Inch Nails is like wild in terms of like songwriting and production. I mean,
I definitely agree with that.
Don't think anybody else has ever done it quite like Trent Reznor has.
No, that's 100% true. Because no one has. You can't. It's very unique.
I will say these days, I wouldn't say it's somebody who influences me, but it's definitely an artist that has really captivated me recently, particularly their debut album, not so much too many of the singles they dropped before it, but Kim Dracula.
Yeah.
Their album, The Gradual Decline in Morale, it is such a roller coaster ride.
It really is. I've never really dived deep into that besides when I've been with you. And when I do, it's like mind-blowing. It's like, what is going on? The production's crazy, and it just keeps changing. It's like, what? I don't even know what it is. I think it's a wild combination of like sounds. It's very, very unique.
Absolutely. I think it's to me, it's a fresh take on like multifaceted, like genre bending, like what you can do with music these days. And I think it is cool that people are no longer afraid to push certain boundaries in terms of, oh, if I try to make this sound, nobody's going to want to listen to it, yada, yada,
Mm-hmm.
kind of bullshit, which has been a problem for way too long, in my opinion.
Yeah,
in
I agree with
music. People like, I feel like people have been afraid to cross the boundary for way too many years. You go back even like, you think people like who made country music in like the 50s once in a while wanted to like make like a pop hit or something? I don't know, like,
I think so, yeah. But the label didn't let him.
No, dude, the music industry is so fucked in that way, man. I mean,
fuck them.
This is, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm gonna let's get into this too, because I think it's labels in the bigger industry. They're robbing artists left and right.
Oh yeah,
and I don't mean in just like a monetary way.
Dude, there's so many stories of bands that like got fucked over and all this shit. They have no rights to any of their music. And I understand like a label investing into an artist.
I feel like
and having it's an investment. You have to make a return, and if they don't, like, I understand that. But also just having them by the balls
it's
for
a
like
creativity
10 years.
Killer. It's a
ridiculous.
creativity killer. I mean, you think of I read something recently about Madison Beer, actually, and how at like 12 years old she was offered a similar deal as Justin Bieber was, and she was found in a similar way. But the problem was, as massively successful as she actually was, the label compared her success to that of Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah, and you can't. It's Jay Biebs.
Look, same thing happened to Mike Posner.
Yeah.
Mike Posner is an incredible songwriter.
But he wrote a lot of hits, though.
Yeah, he wrote Boyfriend.
Exactly, yeah.
That was supposed to go on his album, but the label shelved his shit and sold his songs off to other artists.
It's crazy.
Because he didn't hit...
He was in his queue.
Mega millions.
Yeah.
Even though the numbers were still insane. He was getting gold records and shit like that. I mean, that's an incredible...
he also walked across America.
That's
even more incredible.
That's not talked about very often. He did.
Walked across America.
Got bit by a rattlesnake.
Yeah, and kept walking.
And then
who does that?
Went back.
It's not the Wild West.
Finished it. But
pretty cool.
I do think that it's unfortunate that I think that labels also rob artists' dignity by comparing them to other artists, and it really diminishes success, the feeling of success. And I don't think that's fair, because there's so many talented artists that are signed to labels that I feel like got beat down,
and
100%. Have given up or something, or had the passion killed, because as successful as that they had it, their flame got put out by some executive who isn't even making music. They're just some asshole with a cigar behind a desk.
True. But that's why I love people like Post Malone, who, although has a very commercial sound, went to country.
Well,
and said, "Fuck it, I'm doing a country album."
Jelly Roll.
Exactly.
I mean,
I love Jelly Roll, but that's a little different though. He went from like not being super well known to hitting mainstream from his change up, which is brilliant. But being like the top dog, one of the top dogs in pop and like hip hop, and then being like, you know what, I'm gonna do what I want. I think that's even more like crazy, like, well, in my opinion.
It's giving the middle finger to those different entities.
And have you heard that album?
F 1 trillion.
It's really good.
Listen to some of it. It's
like actually country too.
Look, I will say songwriting good. It's just personally, I wouldn't say it's like my cup of tea particularly. I mean, I like some country stuff, and I'm not talking Shania Twain. I know that's not like...
He loves Shania Twain.
I do love Shania Twain, and I'm not talking that. But
man,
I look, I get down to some Zach Bryan or Winchester, whatever Winchester.
Yeah,
the name of that
whatever
band
name
is.
Yeah.
But I get down with some of that, but. I mean, I do think it's cool that these guys are doing that and giving the middle finger to a lot of these, renegotiating deals, really speaking out on behalf of the little guys, and
And bands going independent too.
yeah,
That's very like inspiring and very like it's kind of unheard of besides like a handful of bands over the years. Like most bands get locked into a label for years on end and like that's it.
and some people and some bands are happy there, and that's cool. That's good. That's fine with them. Whatever works, but
But
a
it's
lot of the
different
time it's not the case.
it's different nowadays though because back in the day when you sold albums you made money. Now you don't make money from albums.
Streaming has
It's
completely,
streaming fucked. Honestly, Metallica had it right.
and everybody and their mother has look. It's both a blessing and a curse
Yeah,
because it has never been easier to bypass these things, which is awesome. But on the flip side, everybody and their mother has a laptop and an
yeah,
interface now, and everybody can make music. And now it's so oversaturated that sometimes it is hard to break yourself apart from everybody else.
definitely is.
But, it's a game of push and tug. You have to kind of navigate the areas and figure out what's going to make you stand out.
Very
That's
true.
just a part of, you got to have personality. And that's something that labels can't always, take away.
No, they
So
can't.
sometimes they can try to take everything else from you, but can't take your personality.
I got a question for you, Johnny.
Yes.
What have you been listening to lately?
Lately?
Yeah, like
Okay. So
two artists or like a song. What have you been like into?
I'll give you 3 artists
Cool.
that I've been really into lately. I've been listening to a lot of Sleep Token lately,
Yup.
particularly the
Brilliant album.
yes, even in Arcadia. So good. I've been listening to a lot of Poppy, Negative Spaces. Love that album, and not an album in particular, but just random songs all over the place. Joey Valance and Bray. They got a very much like new age Beastie Boys vibe to them, and
I can see you rocking into that
I
shit, dude.
love it, man. I love it. I love Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
So
Was that like one of your goats back in the day? Like,
dude, I love Beastie Boys.
are they?
I still love.
Are they
Beastie
in your like
Boys.
Mount Rushmore of like hip hop
Yeah,
artists?
100%.
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nah,
And
dude,
the
you should-
thing is, everybody thinks of Beastie Boys. They always think of that like debut album, like License to Ill, and the goofy stuff and everything. But like, yeah, there's a lot of goofy hip hop stuff, but dude, there's a lot of like solid like Paul's Boutique is full of like banger after banger. Um, Ill Communication.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know if I like identify these as bangers.
don't
They're like
don't you can't sleep on Ill Communication.
I'll sleep on whatever fuck I want to sleep on. I think that saying Beastie Boys is on Mount Rushmore. I don't know if that's a bit or not, but that's
Dude,
goofy.
overall musicianship. Overall, dude, they started as a punk band. They work with huge names. They made shit with like, what the fuck am Biz Markie. They made
Yep.
shit with a Tribe Called Quest. I
Yeah.
mean, they've got just their resume is incredible.
It is, but
they are not just. The thing is, you have to understand that everything that they did is not to be taken seriously. A lot of it is satirical because truthfully they were rich white boys
Yeah.
like from Brooklyn, but they were trying to play punk music. It
Mhm.
didn't go well. They made some hip hop. They figured out they could do it, and then those goofy songs are what blew up.
yeah, of
But
course.
under the deep cuts, so much good stuff, man.
Mhm.
I mean, there's serious songs. There's like just raw hip hop like bars in there. I love Beastie Boys. I think
Yeah.
they're massively underrated.
Yeah, they probably are,
Not
but-
like talked about enough.
All right. So
R.I.P. MCA.
so the bands I've listened to like lately a bunch. Lately it's been Alice in Chains,
Mm.
which is an old school band obviously, but
Well, I mean,
dude, Jerry Cantrell, I never appreciated his guitar playing as much as I have like recently. It's not super complicated. It's just tight.
Also,
he just made it fucking work, and it was just tight.
He still plays with Alice in Chains, doesn't he?
Yes. He also does his own solo kind of tour.
Yeah, I know he does
with
solo
Greg
tour.
Puciato. I don't know how the fuck you say it, but another band, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray is dope.
I've been
Murray's good.
lately
yeah.
on a heavy kick of Bill Murray. That I heard a couple songs here and there, thought it was sick. Last month and a half, big Bill Murray kick.
I'm telling you, in the next couple years, I think we're gonna see it. I would love to see a New Age Attack track featuring Bill Murray.
I wouldn't.
Why not?
I'd rather just see Bill Murray featuring Bill Murray. Yeah.
Why not? I don't see what. There's no.
Johnny Franco worked with other Attack members.
I know there's no
and also it's
bad blood in terms of Andrew Wetzel. I mean, I know that he's pro Bill Murray, so
they're gonna have what AC-130 come back and then have
also
and have Caleb Shomo.
Also, you say that
Caleb Shomo's busy.
He did have a Caleb Shomo feature. Technically, it wasn't a real feature, but he was featured on the track. So it might have been a joke, but it's on tape. This is my feature. Caleb Shomo. Any Hoozles. Any Wetzels.
And then third, I would say Better Lovers.
Better Lovers.
Obviously, it's on my hat. If you guys don't know, it's a newer band. Every Time I Die and the Dillinger Escape Plan formed a fucking brilliant piece of art. That shit is insane live. Honestly, you can't get better in my opinion. Having a raw, original, just straight up, in your face, no backing track. We're going to come fuck you in the ass and you're going to take it. And there's no way you can go about it besides doing that. Having all the bells and whistles is cool. But when I don't think they have in-ears.
Well,
which is crazy. For a band they're not as big now, but Every Time I Die and Dillinger, some OG bands, seeing that live, I just saw them a couple weeks ago. Dude, I would take seeing that shit in a small fucking venue. It was a decent sized venue, but over a fucking Gillette Stadium, packed arena with production out the ass.
Well, it's interesting you say that, and I think that when we get back from the break, we should continue talking about that.
I would love to.
So we will continue talking about live shows and such right after this break, and we will be right back.
Promo code SWAMPGANG on BlueChew.com. If you have a soft dick, make it hard.
Hey there, and welcome to the sponsorship portion of this content. Now you might be wondering, who would sponsor these two goobers? Who would do that? Well, it's me. I'm sponsoring my own content. And you might also be wondering, what do you mean your content? Isn't this Novels content? And well, yeah, he is the host, but I'm the one behind the camera. I'm the one that makes Novels look as good as he does for all of you. And also, I'm the one that mixes the audio and makes sure that your little earbuds can hear this man as well as they do. All right? So that's why my little new production companies are sponsoring this video. That's right, Blood Moon Visuals and Solar Flare Media are going to be the sponsors of this content right here. Blood Moon Visuals is my passion project page where I will be posting, behind the scenes stuff, little creative videos that I make, basically anything that comes from the mind of me, Ronnie. And so far, all the Sky Swamp content comes from me and me alone, and that is Blood Moon Visuals. Now, Solar Flare Media is going to be my client work. Anything that's not Sky Swamp or Ronnie related is going to be Solar Flare Media. That'll be the hub for all the things that I can do for all different kinds of clients and anyone else interested in working with me. So if you want to follow me for my creativity, go follow Blood Moon Visuals, blood_moon_visuals. And if you perhaps want to get some client work from me, go follow Solar Flare Media, Solar_Flare_Media. And there's not a lot of stuff on those pages right now, but there definitely will be in the future. So thank you. Stay tuned. Appreciate you.
Welcome back from the break. and as Hunter was discussing before we departed, now that we're back, he was talking about Better Lovers and their live show.
So, I've seen them 3 times now. Every time has been amazing. I gotta say, when I saw them in Buffalo in December, it was by far the best. Because it was their annual Christmas show at this dope venue that has ice skating. It has a mechanical bull. They have wrestling too, because Andy, the other guy from Every Time I Die, is a wrestler. Coolest fucking thing. Tickets are like $45. The drive's a little far, but it's fun. These dudes in that band are not only kick ass on stage, off stage, they're cool as fuck. 2 of the dudes own a bar. You know what they do? They hang out and drink with their fans at the bar. That's goals.
That's cool.
That is fucking, like, if you do that, like, that's my dream, dude. I would want to do that. If I could have a bar, not even drink, I don't fucking give a fuck about fans. I mean, I do care about fans, but like, to own a bar is cool as fuck.
That is
But to
very
be
cool.
like in like a band that makes money and just hanging out with your fucking fans and like drinking, having fun, that's cool.
That's very cool.
But live, so they didn't do it the last show I saw them, which was still sick. The light show is better at this one, I think, in my opinion. But in Buffalo, Greg, the vocalist, blows fire.
What?
So
What?
So he literally like climbs up so the last song they play, second last song they play, he climbs up off, you know, the fucking barricade shit, like the shitty like shit that like links together.
Yeah.
So there's one on the side of the stage, and like he jumps up on that. It's not sturdy, and then climbs up to the balcony that's another however many feet above him, and then like stage dives off a balcony into the crowd. The next song, he ends up blowing fire at the end, and as he's doing it, Jordan Buckley and Steve Mitchie, fucking Mitch, I don't know, fucking no one knows his name. He's fucking, it doesn't make any sense.
The other guy.
It's Steve. Knock Loose calls him Stitch. Apparently, they crowd surf and stage dive as fire's being blown like 3 feet away from them.
Whoa.
That's fucking nuts.
That is nuts.
That's cool as fuck.
That's showmanship.
They also have Will Putney in the band, the GOAT of metal production. If you could find me one producer in metal that's better than Will Putney, I'll give you $100 right now.
I'm not gonna.
'Cause you
try
can't.
that. I couldn't sit here and tell you.
You can't. Anyways, going back to Better Lovers, their other band, Every Time I Die, probably my favorite band of all time. Seeing them over 20 times was a blessing. Those shows, just, you can't get better, in my opinion. Having like just raw, legit talent in front of you, nothing to hide behind. No, like, I love production. Production's really cool. But when it's just like everything being played is played in front of you, and it's just like chaos on stage, I personally don't think you can top it.
I will say there is something to be said about everything being raw and played right
Yeah.
there and still feeling and sounding completely full.
Mm-hmm.
That is, to me, like pretty top notch and
Yeah.
peak. But I will say there are some circumstances in which production does enhance like it can enhance a performance.
It does always enhance it.
But I mean, I've definitely seen plenty of circumstances where these production additives actually water down or ruin a performance. I mean, I've definitely listen, I don't think these guys are ever going to listen to it, and if they do, I guess, like, sorry, I said what I said, but
Nah, don't be sorry.
fucking crown the empire.
Yeah.
Okay? I've seen them a couple of times, and there's too much backing track. It's too much, especially on the heavy scream vocals.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there's going to be that much reliance on those tracks, then you shouldn't do them at all. I mean, it's taken away.
That's true.
It's taken away from me,
I think
and I can tell.
yeah,
I'm just like, we can all tell.
I think backing tracks are very cool. I think it's a useful thing. We use it as a band. I'll be honest. Like,
I mean,
but we don't use it like you're not hearing my drums not be played. I'm playing drums. Like, that's if there's like trap drums or whatever, it's something else. I'm not doing it. But
it's useful for bells and whistles.
you need to amplify the sound, not be anchored by the backing track. If what you're doing is only good because you have backing tracks, I can't fuck with it.
Now, on the flip side, I will also say that, like, I've seen a group like Atmosphere more than a couple of times, and you're looking at a DJ. Well, actually, Atmosphere when they're touring and stuff, they perform with 2 DJs. You've got Ant, who's like the main producer guy, and then I forgot who the other guy is that they usually got with them, but they usually have a secondary DJ, and they kind of go back and forth between like scratches and like whatever they're doing back there. And then, like, you know, Slug is the rapper dude. But yeah, no, they're to me they're always fantastic live. I always enjoy seeing Atmosphere. It's always a good time to me. I love seeing them. I've seen Snow the Product a couple of times. She's fantastic live. Obviously, these are hip hop acts, so you know you're looking at a different kind of standard, I think, to putting on that live performance. Yes. So I think it is interesting. I think the way that you view it and the opinion on the use of the production is very much reliant on the way that the show is being presented and the way that it's being performed.
That's very true.
I mean, at least that's the way that I'm looking at it.
So I saw Post Malone a year or 2 years ago, and very heavy on autotune, which I'm not a big fan of. It is what it is. But he had a live band.
That's pretty cool.
So having a live band, like the start of the show was literally like 3 minutes of like a string quartet, like building up like an intro as everyone else in the band came in, and then he came in, and like that's like production in a different sense. It's not production of that's like stage production of like a show, not just production of like backing track, auto tune, all that shit. He does have some of that, but seeing him live with just a backing track and just him going over fucking
it definitely song, like, adds another element to everything.
It's so much better.
You know, you have a live band, it adds more energy.
Yeah.
I will say this is actually once upon a time I saw Wiz Khalifa and Fall Out Boy on the same tour bill.
I remember that tour.
And I will tell you, like, I would actually love to see Fall Out Boy again, and I'm hoping that the next time that I do get to see them, it will be better than the first time I saw them. Not to knock Fall Out Boy. I enjoy Fall Out Boy, but Wiz Khalifa had a live band, and his live band was better.
That's crazy.
I'm not knocking anything. I love Fall Out Boy. I was just shocked.
That's crazy. So I saw the Wiz and the Snoop Dogg tour, I think 2016, 2017. That was fun. Smoked a lot of blunts.
I bet, dude.
Mac Miller, R.I.P. I saw him. He is one person that I wish I saw with a live band, because he also toured with a live band sometimes. But seeing him with his DJ was the watching movies like era. Smoked like 10 blunts at the Oakdale. That was sick. Great ass time. One rapper that I've seen out of many that did not rely on backing tracks.
That's really dope.
Because most rappers do. And that's my issue with rap live, is because I'm cool with having some. However...
Sorry.
What?
I don't know. Should I get sinister over here?
Yeah, dude.
Should I dig a hole?
Yeah. I mean, you use backing tracks too, so I don't know why you're going to...
No, it's fine. No, I do use backing tracks.
His screams aren't real.
No, my screams are real. But, like...
They're pre-recorded.
Listen, when I do some of my tracks live and they're heavier, I don't have a band to play with me. I gotta have the instruments played on backing track. No, but should I get
You ever
spicy?
watch him just go like, ah?
It's called mic control.
No, but I mean, like, you still hear the but like the mic's not there.
No.
All right.
You remember Kosha Dills?
Fuck no. Next topic.
But
what about Poppy?
Poppy? Yeah, no, I saw Poppy recently. It was fucking awesome.
Was it?
First of all, I'm pretty sure at least the bassist, if not more of that band, was from Issues. They were wearing like balaclava masks when they played, but the bassist, I'm telling
Was
you,
it Sky?
looked exactly like him. Like, he had the hair was pinned back.
Yeah.
Obviously, they had the masks on.
I wouldn't be
see who was
surprised.
playing, but it looked just like him.
He tours with the 21 Pilots, and he's going to be on tour with Let Live,
Oh, wow.
which is super cool.
That's super cool.
So he might be on tour with Poppy. I don't know.
But her whole band was super, super good, and she was
a live band?
really good band. Yeah, it was.
I'm
a
not too
live
familiar
band.
with Poppy. I know.
And she did.
I've
the
heard
fucking,
plenty of things, but
all her shit, dude. She nailed the vocals live.
I believe it.
All of it. I was blown away. I had a blast. She's fucking top notch in my opinion.
Is she?
100%.
Yeah, you
She can
fucking love
back
her.
it, dude. She can back it.
And she's a wide range of
She has
sound
a
too, right?
super wide range of sound, and she can, dude. Why? I can't. The way that she can go back and forth between cleans and like her screams is wild, wild.
Yeah, honestly, the most I know about her is her song with the Knock Loose.
Oh,
Suffocate.
suffocate. Yeah.
That shit on Jimmy Kimmel too was sick.
Shout out, dude. I love that. Like at the Grammys, they
Dude.
got.
Oh, her and Courtney
her
LaPlante
and
from
Courtney
Sir-
LaPlante
Dude.
confused, and Courtney just
went with
went
it.
with it
Yo,
like she
shout out
was
Courtney.
Poppy. For
Dude,
real,
Courtney's
shout
a
out.
shit. Dude, she was at Coachella with Megan Thee Stallion.
I saw that too.
That's also cool as fuck.
Very cool.
Like
very
Knock
cool.
Loose, Spirit Box getting nominated for Grammys, and then Megan Thee Stallion having not only one song of a remix with Spirit Box,
Well,
but also like being like, "Yo, you guys want to do like a song on my album too?" Like that's cool as fuck. That's a cool thing in the industry now that like they're starting to take in
Oh,
like some of the
100%.
heavier shit that like and like
Sleep Token was dominating Billboard charts for weeks.
Yeah,
leading
I
up
believe
to
that.
this. I mean, with Caramel and what was the other one? Eternal. No, I can't remember what was the first.
you didn't do anything to
The
spin
first
the gears in my
single.
head.
The first single off of Even in Arcadia before Caramel. Emergence. It was Emergence.
Yeah.
Damocles was the last one, but both Emergence and Caramel beat out in the UK charts Lady Gaga, fucking whoever else is popular over in the UK. I don't know, they're weird over there. No offense to you, but you guys like beans and tuna and fucking baked potatoes, and I
True.
don't trust you.
Can I go back to Knock Loose for a second?
Yeah.
So, kind of bridging the gap between my take of bands that I think it's better when there's no production.
Yes.
Knock Loose is like the epitome of like, we won't use production because we're a fucking hard ass band and we're hardcore.
They've always had the tone.
I saw them at MSG opening up for Slipknot, and they now incorporate production. Not a ton, but they do.
Does
And
it elevate
that's-
anything?
It does. It does.
Okay,
It
there
does.
you go.
But they don't. It's not a crutch for them.
Well, I think
It makes the show just a little bit better for them. But other bands,
when you're a full band, production should never be a crutch. And I
that
think
it is for too many in the industry.
unfortunately it is, and it has become a very apparent and overused thing for live shows. And I'm
And
not
we've
talking a production standpoint of a stage production. We are not talking stage production here, just for clarity. This is not
It's
talking
audio.
about that. This is audio production. This is adding, an obscene amount of bells and whistles when anybody on the stage that is capable of doing those bells and whistles should be doing it.
Some shit's fine, but too much I don't like.
I will say too. I mean, look, I already said at the top of this hour that I love Falling in Reverse, but I've had times where I've seen Falling in Reverse and it was a fantastic show.
Mhm.
And I've seen times where I've seen them and there is so much not guitars playing that it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like most people don't notice it.
Most people don't.
And I kind of like am jealous of that because it is kind of cool like not knowing and enjoying it, but like I'm a fucking critic. I'm a cunt. I'm very critical of things, like myself included, like the most. But when it comes to other things too, it's like I'm going to be sitting there being like, "Oh, well that's this, that's that." Like I'm very critical.
Like again, I'm not trying to like fully talk shit on all the because there is
I
times
am,
where
a little bit.
like it does boost sometimes,
Yeah.
like certain ends of things where it's synths and stuff,
Mhm.
you don't always need a synth player. It's fun, it's cool. It probably would add to your live show to have
Yeah.
a synth player,
But have synths in there. It's fine.
you don't need the synth
But if
player.
70% of the guitars that are coming out of the speakers are not being played, that's not cool.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah, but obviously. That man's been through enough.
Yeah,
We
you're
don't gotta
right.
go
I'm not
through-
gonna drag him. He was all right. No, he wasn't.
He'll find
very
us and
good
block
live.
us.
I'll tell you what. You know who I saw live last year? I loved it, every second of it. Limp Bizkit.
I haven't seen them.
Oh,
I was a
God.
hater for years, dude, but I
saw
love them now.
Limp Bizkit last year at the Loserville tour. Half of everyone that was playing on that show fucking sucked ass.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
not
they
even
definitely
gonna
made fun of
fucking
Corey Feldman
front.
the entire
Bones was
time.
good. Bones and Eddie Baker were cool. They did good for like that right before Limp Bizkit.
Mhm.
Very good. And then fucking dude, Limp Bizkit crushed it.
I believe it, dude.
It was fucking amazing.
Was it like Woodstock 99 Crush or was it?
No, it was
No?
just like a good summer night crush.
Okay.
Yeah. But I loved it. I had a
That's
good
awesome.
time. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite shows you've ever been to?
Some of my favorite shows I ever been to.
Give me like 2 or 3.
One of them, probably the first time I saw Attila, I would have to say would be one because of
What
the
venue?
magic of the moment. That was in Boston, and it was like, actually, I saw Crown the Empire before they lost the Screamer,
Okay.
before they parted ways with
How
him.
could you lose a Screamer? Wouldn't you be able to
Well,
find him?
They kicked him out. So
Oh,
I
I thought
think.
he's being too loud,
But when they had the
Cut
full
that out. That's a
original
shitty, that's a shitty joke.
lineup, I saw there was Crown the Empire. I think it was Sworn In, like Moths to Flames, and Attila.
What happened to Sworn In? They were sick
They were sick.
for like, I want to say like a year, but like I was bumping them for like a year. Like 20, was it 2013 or so?
Yeah, 2013 or 14, 15.
Yeah, maybe 14, 15.
Yeah,
Dude, that fucking hypocrisy and shit like that. That was
good
sick,
shit, dude. Yeah, good out. Yeah, dude. They were really good live too. Their vocalist he had some energy to him. Yeah, I would say that show was awesome. I would say when we saw Motley Crue together
That was sick.
before they came back,
That was a good show.
that was their final
Final
tour.
final tour.
And then I would say because it was so high on the bucket list and I got to do it, I would say Shania Twain.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. No, that was a big night for me.
Oh, I
Shania
bet, dude.
Twain.
It's fucking Shania, dude. You have to be fucking
Ugh.
lit for that.
She is like a fine wine, man.
Oh yeah, always gets better.
I swear to God, she even like her songs and stuff. Her new albums are good too.
I've never
She's
dove into any of the new stuff.
timeless.
Is she?
She is timeless.
Well, time's gonna run out, Johnny. So you gotta.
Time is running out. Oh boy.
All right, so I'll list 3 of my favorite
yeah,
shows.
dude. Give me a Man
All right,
After Midnight.
so that was good, dude. Fucking little ABBA. All right. Sorry. You got to edit this. All right. So, top 3 shows just off the top of my head. 1, I think I might go with the Fever 333 show
Oh,
that we
dude.
fucking saw at, was it Great Scott?
Oh my gosh, dude, top notch.
Like Eric and Prada from Night Versus, Jason Butler from Let Live, and fucking Stevis from The Chariot.
I love
Like
that corner
3
of Boston.
brilliant bands, small venue, like 150 people tops, maybe 200,
Not even,
like,
dude.
if that, like small, like bar. Like,
It was
literally,
small.
literally the room we're in now you can't see, but it's smaller than this probably. So sick, like the most lit, like you like, dude.
It was amazing. It really was. It
So
was
sick.
as raw as it gets, and you would have never expected. It was also the original lineup
Yeah.
of Fever 333.
All the dudes super cool too. Met all of them
Very, very
afterwards.
humble. I also love that corner of Boston.
Yeah.
You got Great Scots right there. Paradise Rock Club's right around
Yep,
the
it
corner.
is.
The Aganis Arena. Oh, dude, I love that corner. It's small. The Goodwill, dude.
Mhm.
Dude, that Goodwill right there. That's a good Goodwill. I'm gonna tell you, if you're in Boston by Paradise Rock Club, hit that Goodwill. That's a good Goodwill.
True.
Also, Boston Halal. I'm not paid for this. This is not a paid advertisement.
It can
Boston Halal, right there. Fucking banging, dude. Indian Mediterranean food. Blows me away.
be. Yo. Wanna know what's crazy though?
What?
So the 2 other shows that came to my head off the bat were 2 other shows that Jason Butler was also at.
He's a great showman.
It wasn't even just him.
He's
it
got
just-
wild energy.
And it's Pierce LaVale, Memphis Mayfire, Let Live, and Issues, in Clifton Park, New York. Sick as fuck. I was supposed to see A Day to Remember and Vice Men at the same venue the night before, but I was 15, Danny was 20. In order to get someone else in that was under 16, you had to be 21 and over. So we didn't think it would happen. However, I actually got a drum lesson from the drummer, Jake, from Memphis Mayfire, the day of, and he was like, oh, you could probably do it. Danny had a fake, so he got us in with the fake. But, like, you needed, like, a guardian or whatever, even though he's over 18. I was 15. I could go to a fucking show. It was dumb. But, so we missed out on A Day to Remember and a Vice of Men. That would have been sick. That was 2014, maybe. Anyways, Pierce LaVale, Let Live, Issues, Memphis Mayfire, fucking awesome. Seeing those bands in a small venue, sick as fuck. The next show, Every Time I Die, Let Live, Code Orange.
Yo, that's dope.
But when they were Code Orange kids, it was their first tour that they did outside of like a small little tour, first like national tour. They were like brand new. Seeing that shit was nuts. On that tour, Jason Butler, I think I showed you before, literally punched like a window and like broke his hand, so he had a cast on his fucking hand. That's really crazy though, because that was just like the shows just came to my head, and it all happened to be Jason Butler shows. So I guess shout out to Jason Butler.
You know who else I've seen many times, and actually, they've been good every single time I've seen them live. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Sleeping with Sirens.
Oh yeah, dude, of course.
Every time I see Sleeping with Sirens, they are fucking good live, dude.
Of course, dude. They're so sick.
They're always hit, man, and it's so nostalgic for me. Like that was like for me, they were an anchor point in
Oh, yeah.
terms of like,
Like the shirt we had.
yeah, dude, yeah, but like they were a segue for me to get into even heavier
Yeah.
ass music. But if I never listened to Sleeping with Sirens, I would never be listening to shit like Body Snatcher, you know,
Yeah,
or
I
like
guess.
fucking like Lorna Shore.
Mm-hmm.
It was Pierce the Veil and like Sleeping with
Yeah.
Sirens that like got me into shit like that.
So another fun tour I saw back in the day, I think 2012 or so. It was Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, Beartooth's first tour.
Oh,
This is when their EP first EP came out. First EP. Me and my brother went there thinking like, oh, dude, I'm so pumped for Beartooth. Like, no one's gonna know them. I've never seen a band's first tour, like first show, be like this. Everybody in the crowd literally got down on the ground before they came out. It was at the Webster, so whatever, 1,000 cap, 1,200 cap. But in the pit, probably, I don't know, fucking couple hundred. Everybody there was on the ground like a fucking Slipknot show, waiting for them to come out, chanting fucking Beartooth. And I was like, oh, this is gonna go nuts.
that's the power.
That was cool as. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. For like, imagine being them, being like, oh, we just put out an EP. Like, that's fucking sick.
That's how influential Attack was, by the way. Everybody goes, oh, Stickly. Yeah, dude. Stickly. That's the power of Stickly. Fucking badass, dude. Crabcore.
Yeah.
Making waves. Smokahontas. Okay? AC 130.
Yeah. I like Beartooth more.
I don't know. Bro Ashley's here. Okay?
Is she?
That was the name of the song.
I know.
Not anymore.
Another one.
Bow, 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 bow. If you know, you know. Anyway. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to a summer of love and shows.
Yeah, any shows coming up you're gonna see?
2. The first one coming up right now is Linkin Park.
Oh, yep. That's gonna be sick, dude.
And then after that is Cypress Hill,
Okay.
Atmosphere, Lupe Fiasco, and Farside. And that's the Cypress Hill summer tour there.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. I
That's
feel
cool.
like that's a fun one to cross off the bucket list. Like they weren't even really on the bucket list before,
Mhm.
but I feel like they're like 90s like legends
Mhm.
in that sense, you know?
Makes sense.
Plus, like, who doesn't love Insane in the Membrane or, you know, Hits from the Bong? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. So I'm going to Warped Tour.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm mad jealous
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. That's going to
I'm
be
pumped.
amazing.
Thanks, Kevin Lyman. I'm not going to talk shit about the lineup in public.
I will say, too, you know, I saw was making a... Oh. That one died, I think. No, nope. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Warped Tour. That's gonna be sick, though, man. Warped Tour is gonna be a good time. I also
glad it's
saw Mayhem's making a comeback. I'm hoping that these upcoming years, maybe after this, they'll be going cross country, and that will be
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. But we'll see what happens with that.
Or if they build it up more like the old school, like not the old school, but like the bigger festivals now, like do Warped Tour here and there and like make it like big,
It will be
like
interesting.
fucking Riot Fest and all that stuff. That'd be cool.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what the future holds. Absolutely. But on that note, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, of course.
It was
Thanks
awesome
for having me.
having you here.
Hopefully it wasn't too much of a shit show, but we'll figure out.
That's what we're all about here.
That's why he edits.
But thanks for tuning in again to Algae. You can find me at It's Novels, ITZNOVLS. And you can find him, that's on Instagram or really wherever. And you can find him at,
Probably at the bar somewhere.
you can find him on Instagram at like @Hunter or something
So
like
yeah,
that.
at the bar. Just find me at
At
the
the-
bar. I'll
just find
talk
him
to
at
you
the
more
bar.
there. Don't DM. You can DM me, but find me at the bar.
He's not really online. It doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you the next time. Sky Swamp Orange. Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah. And you can follow us and find us at Sky
Like
Swamp
and
Orange.
subscribe.
So at Sky Swamp Orange on Instagram, Sky Swamp Orange Facebook, and skyswamporange.net online. Thanks. We'll see you the next time on
Peace,
Algae,
bitches.
a Swamp Gang podcast.
All right. How bad was that?